Juju shit. You just boo boo. Did you boo boo? Oh, you boo booed. Oh, it stinks in here. What's poppin' YouTube? So, it's your boy Ghost. I'm coming to you from my bus. Yup. So, on the weekends, I do wine tours up to Sedona. And they're pretty cool, you know. I take about anywhere between 15 to like 22 people, and we check out the wineries in Valley Verde and check out Sedona. It's pretty decent, pretty fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to, you know, the women that, it's mostly women that be on this bus, and it's usually like bridal parties and stuff like that. But it's pretty fun, pretty dope. It's a good chance to, you know, get out and talk to, you know, the people and just have a good time. Let people drink and get them home safely. So it's a pretty solid little situation I got going on the weekends. And yeah. But anyways, I'm dropping this video to speak on gatekeeping, because gatekeeping has been one of the biggest issues in the trucking industry. And by gatekeeping, I mean, like, you know, just drivers and just people withholding information and only giving you bits and pieces of stuff because, you know, they want to make a profit out of it, or they just think that if they tell too much, it's going to oversaturate the industry and the market, and people are going to, you know, steal their freight and all this other extra stuff. And I'm sorry to say it, because I can, you know, I'm speaking for like the black community of truck drivers. It's a lot of black folks that like to gatekeep. I just went through a situation where I had a guy that was gatekeeping, you know, stuff when it came to me. So a little story time for a second. I started doing flatbed with one of my homeboys because he had a flatbed, and he was teaching me, you know, flatbedding, and, you know, it was pretty cool. One thing I can say, flatbedding is definitely not for the weak. My hat goes off to people who do it full time, because y'all be out there working, especially when it's hot or when it's cold or you got a tarp. So, you know, shout out to the flatbedders, which flatbedding is good money. Don't get me wrong. It's some good ass money, but you gonna work for that money too. And I realized flatbedding is more for like, it's like construction. Like it was definitely a different experience. But like I said, my homeboy came to me and he needed help building his brokerage. So I helped him. I gave him, you know, documents. I gave him the bond company that I use when I had my brokerage going. Like, I basically helped him build his brokerage from the ground up. And in return, he told me he was going to lease me a truck. So, that's what he said. But then once, because he, you know, he was stuck on this cent per mile, and, you know, trash talking how much reefer and drive-in rates were so trash and this, that, and the third. But he was the type of driver, he only ran if it was a good paying load. So say you got a load that's paying like $2,000. Well, he'll run that $2,000 and then he'll sit for the next couple weeks until he gets that other big money load. He was that type of owner op, that type of just driver. Which, don't get me wrong, them drivers, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you have multiple trucks, it's not too good to think that way. But to each its own. So, I basically put him on for his brokerage, and then in return, he was supposed to lease me a truck. But that all changed after he realized that, because, you know, he had just power units. So I hooked him up with some power only situations where he was bringing power onlys out of Cali and loading out the power only trailers to go back into back into LA from Phoenix. And he was doing about 1,800 a round trip. And he's seen that how consistent it was. He was doing it 3 times a week. So, 18 times 3, y'all do the numbers. Y'all know how much that is per week. He's spending only, he was only spending, I think, $12.50 in fuel. And the rest, like I said, he owned his truck. So the rest was profit outside of fuel and what his insurance that he cut out, 4 times of, say if his insurance is $1,000 and you divide that by, which I think his insurance was only like $850 a month. So you take that and you divide it by 4, and that's his deduction for his insurance. You're only spending about $12.50 in fuel. The rest, he was profiting between $2,000 and $2,800 after all was said and done for the week. And then you paid me $1,000. Well, no, that's even after you paid me my $1,000 to $1,500. You still you're still making over 2 G's a week, like take home as the owning the truck. And then he was getting stuff fixed on the truck, getting it ready to lease it to me, and then he changed his mind as he saw how much the truck was making. Then he wanted to turn around and pay me 40 cents per mile because he wanted to keep majority of the profit, because he's like, oh well, I didn't know that the industry was that consistent, and just everything started switching up and changing. So me and him, we had a falling out over it, because it's like, that wasn't the original plan. I didn't, come on board to help you scratch your back, and then you set me up and then turned around and didn't stick to your word. So, it didn't last very long when it came to our little agreement. So I ended up just cutting ties with him, and I ended up jumping in another truck. And that situation, like I said, it's solid. It's A1. But I just realized, like, even him, like, it came to a point where, he claimed that he wasn't getting loads, or he didn't have a load coming out, but he was giving his loads to another truck that he had. And he was starving me out. And it's just like, whoa, like, it's crazy how you could do that to me when I'm the one that put you on to this lane, and now you want to cut me out, and you want to put your other truck on it, which you have a driver, an undocumented driver in that truck, and you're paying him damn near 40 cents a mile so you can keep majority of the profit for yourself. And it was crazy. It was wild. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm straight. I'm good, because I'm not about to sit up there and sink because one man wants to be on a power trip and gatekeep. And yeah, it was just a whole lot. So I had to cut ties out of that situation. But like I said, I guess for an update, everything's been going well. I've managed to rebuild. I got my place. I got me a vehicle. And now I'm just working on saving some money up to get my final truck and trailer back on the road. I don't know if I'm gonna go under my authority yet, but like I told myself, I'm taking my time. It's probably gonna be not until like next year when I really pull the trigger on going full-blown owner-op again, because I'm rebuilding and laying my foundation to make sure it's firm and I don't have any squares in my circles, and so I don't stumble and fall, because that was one of my biggest problems. I kept trying to rebuild and then stumbling and falling because I kept trying to rebuild these big ass fleets, or just build these fleets, when my foundation wasn't 100% solid. So I've taken a lot of time to really take accountability and really rethink my plan and take my time with it. So that being said, thought I'd just give y'all an update. Love, peace, and prosperity, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.